employee wellness is part of building a great institution. The world has become a global village for talent. Remote work has removed geographical barriers, and employees can now choose where, when, and how they work. Today, employees want more than a paycheck. They want to align with the company's mission for their work, to contribute to a significant cause, and to feel that the company cares and contributes to their well-being, growth, and development. In the battle to attract and retain top talent, employee-centered companies will win. So joining us to talk about that, Nonso Onwuzulike, CEO of wellness company Earnipay, has joined us now to talk further. Nonso, you're very welcome. Good afternoon to you. So how do you improve employee wellness in 2022? What are the triggers here?
Great to be here. So in terms of employee wellness, like top of mind is, financial wellness, right? Because you're only as well as you are financially, right? And that's really what we want to solve for with Earnipay. So Earnipay is a financial technology, financial wellness company. Our goal is to improve the financial well-being of income earners in Africa today. And we do this by partnering with their employers to provide on-demand, flexible salary access. And what that pretty much is, trying to solve a huge problem for employees today that, the monthly pay cycle puts them in situations where they've run out of cash by like the first week or the second week, right? But the reality is you're doing work every day, right? So we want you to be able to access your earnings based on the days that you've worked, right? So how Earnipay pretty much comes in the lives of income earners is that your monthly salary is prorated into a daily salary. And now as you work, you'll be able to access your earnings, right? And we do this, in partnership with the employer as a workplace benefit that, is free of charge. So it doesn't change any of the employer's existing systems. And now employees are empowered to actually, access their earnings on the go whenever they need it the most.
So this then, I guess, looks like it's the strategy is dependent on outsourcing this service, to you. Can that be done in-house, or it's got to be outsourced?
So for us, what we've seen is there's a lot that goes into financial wellness, which is why on our own we're a company focused on doing this, right? So businesses on NSF, they have their core reason why they set up, right? And our goal is to partner with them so they can focus on their business, right? And in partnering with them, we're able to enable them improve employee productivity and by virtue improve business output, right? So for us, is partnering with us for any company is the easier and smarter way to go versus, building the solution in-house.
So is financial freedom the only way to improve employee wellness?
It's the start, and it's actually the most important start because money worries is actually the biggest source of distraction in the workplace, right?
Got that right.
So when employees don't have money, they're less likely to focus at work, right? So this is really what we want to solve for.
Yeah.
And we believe that in solving for this first, we'll actually be able to provide first off financial freedom, which then enables the whole ecosystem of employee wellness. Interesting
business model. How do you do a salary advance without charging interest and make money?
So what we do is flexible salary access, right? So in partnering with the employers, right, we charge a fee whenever employees draw down. So say you earn 300,000 naira a month. In the month that has 30 days, your salary is now 10,000 naira per day. So for every day that you work, if you want to access it, you'll be able to draw down for a fee. We allow people to start from the urgent 2K to 10K for a fee of 250 naira, and from 10K to 50K for a fee of 500 naira. So similar to what you get if you go to the ATM or POS service providers today. But now this is you now accessing your earnings ahead of time, right? So whenever you need to, you don't need to fall back on the painful alternative that exists today.
Why would an employee care to do that if an employer care to do that if the employee can get a loan from a bank?
So the reality is that, a lot of the employees today don't have that access, right? So access is really, really important. And that flexibility is really what we're offering, right? So the process that exists today for many people is that, they have to go write an application, they have to fill a long form. But with Earnipay, in partnership with your employers, you have access to your earnings on the go. You don't need to talk to anybody. It's via our mobile or web app. You're able to access your earnings right away. So, yeah, that's what.
All right. So going back on that, the example, the 300,000 salary, 10,000 a day. If they've accessed the scenario I'm thinking of, 50% of the salary up to a particular point, and then they quit, or get fired, or something happens, then who bears that cost, and how do you augment that?
So, what we do is access to earnings based on number of days work, right? So in reality, 50% of the salary would be 150K, right? So the employee would only be able to access that through Earnipay if they've actually worked for that amount of days, right? So if they stop working, whatever they've accessed through us is actually funds for the days that they have worked, right? But in the unlikely event where, they get terminated unduly and the employer says that, hey, this employee took money through you and we don't want to pay back, Earnipay actually takes on that responsibility. So there's zero liability for the employer. So it's a great workplace benefit. That's first off, it's free of charge.
Yeah.
Zero liability, doesn't change any of your existing payment systems. It's plug and play, but it's a solution for you to actually, make your employees happy and actually reduce the instances where people would, quit or leave, right? Because the goal is to make employees happier so that productivity is increased, engagement is increased. So you as a company, you can now better attract and retain talent.
Great stuff. How do you see, I wanted to make a wider conversation here a few minutes ago. Unemployment in Nigeria, 33%. How do you bring that number down? A lot of people say it's government policies. Is remote work the key? How do you view the unemployment situation?
I mean, as you said, unemployment is a big problem, right? But I feel like, there's a lot that needs to go into it from the public and also from the private sector side. But what we see as a big problem today is actually, scarcity of talent. How the companies who are actually employing today, how do they attract and retain talent? Because there's high competition for talent locally and also internationally, right? Which is also why we built Earnipay for companies today to be able to better attract and retain talent. So in the global workspace where there's high demand for great talent, they stand a chance to be able to, get great people to work with them and stay working with them long term.
Cool. I think you're Gen Z. Are you Gen Z or are you a millennial? Okay, so Gen Z and the gig economy. Do you see more growth there?
Definitely. I mean, that's also another reason why we built Earnipay, because the future of work is primarily millennials and Gen Z, right? So there's a lot. Right now, the workplace is primarily millennials, and the next people that will be coming in are Gen Z. And these are people who respond positively to on-demand products, right? Which is why we believe that, on-demand flexible salary is actually the future of how salaries should be, because we've always worked with I receive my salary after 30 days, after the month, and I plan my life around that. But now everything that we do is on demand, right? And that's where Earnipay comes in, where we're enabling the income earners of tomorrow and today to be able to access their earnings on the go so they are able to match their income to expenses and plan their lives daily.
It's very interesting. There was it's gonna be if things play out as you forecast, it's gonna be interesting to see how bill, I don't know, there's this Senate bill or that passed first or second reading yesterday in Abuja where they're trying to get rents to be paid monthly instead of
exactly. We need to be able to break things down for people.
Right, exactly. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see. But that's a whole real estate conversation. Do you see more competition coming into your space and doing what you're doing?
I mean, competition is good, and we definitely see that because, with Earnipay, we're the pioneers of flexible salary access in Nigeria.
Well, you got first mover advantage, but then how
things work. There's a lot of work that comes with that, right? Because we have to educate people of the future that we're trying to create. But what we see is that, as we said, the future of pay should be on demand. So we see that, a lot more players would come into the market. It's really about who actually offers the best service, right? So our focus now is, we have this great solution, and how do we, make it available to a lot of employees today, partner with their employers to make that available.
It's a fascinating conversation. Jobs, a very big focus here on Africa's largest economy, considering the population. So we'll see how things work out. Nonso Onwuzulike, thank you very much for joining us, CEO of Earnipay. Appreciate your insights.